Tad Talk. It's what day is it? It's Monday. It's April the I don't know again. 20th. Is that not yet, Scotty? Is it 20th? Yeah, it's
20th.
Yeah, April 20th, Monday, Tad Talk, episode 19. We've already had amazing season 1, and I think it's just going to get better and better and better. We've got 3 funny guests. Yes, even Scotty's funny. And this is going to be a good show. First of all, a good friend of mine from the East Coast. I think he's out there in New York or that area. Welcome to the show, Tom Briscoe. Tom, how are you?
Yeah. Hi, guys. Hey, Terry, Scotty, Jason. How is everybody doing? Good?
You doing, man?
Great. Are you in a bar or are you where are you?
I'm in my basement bar, and this is where I've been quarantined. Barbara, my Mrs. Briscoe told me to pick a spot, and so this is it. No fancy guitars, nothing. Just shots and beers. That's it. So I'm pretty, and cigars.
I think I want to be quarantined in your basement. where is that? New York, or is it a bit further north?
No, I'm just north of New York City. Well, now I could drive in 32 minutes, but because there's no cars on the road. But I'm about as far north as you'd want to live and still commute and work in Manhattan. So I'm right on the Hudson River, a town called Cornwall.
Awesome. Well, great. Thanks for being on the show. Another good friend of mine, funny guy, right on the cutting edge of everything. And I believe was on a ship when this started happening. I can't remember. Welcome to the show, Jason Love. How you doing, Jason?
How you doing, Terry?
Great to have you on the show. You're looking very coiffed with the hair this morning.
You know, if it weren't for these Zoom gigs, I don't think I'd shower at all.
Well, we better not go down that road. Where are you quarantined? Where are you?
I live in Camarillo. You know where that is, Terry?
I do. Neil Sedaka wrote a song called "Is This the Way to Camarillo?"
Oh, is that the one where he's mentally insane? Is that the one you're talking about?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, it's a sad little town, man. It's like the 24-hour fitness closes at 9. Not a whole lot goes on here.
What state is that in?
What's that?
What state is that in?
Oh, it's in California. It's like halfway between LA and Santa Barbara. They just opened up our trails yesterday, and you'd think that we would all be happy and, you know, enjoy our freedom, and there was like a quinceañera going on, and I'm just like, you guys are not getting this. Wow,
yeah, there's quite a bit of that. Well, thanks for being on the show, Jason. Great having you here. This will be fun. And, of course, my right-hand man for the last 10 years?
It feels like 20, but I believe it's more around 11 or 12.
I think so. Welcome to the show, Scotty Pearson. Scotty, how are you?
I'm living the dream here in Chandler, Arizona.
All right. Now, I'm looking very closely. Everybody's using a regular background. Jason's got a very clear, nice background. Tom's got his bar. The guitars are okay. The aquarium's okay. The picture of the boys are okay. But what the hell is that wig to your left?
Well, I'm kind of known for my hair, but the fact is that I don't really have much of it.
Can we bring that a bit closer to the camera, please? That wig, I think.
I'm known for my hair, and so I try to keep my hair with me wherever I go. Probably in my back pocket, but.
Right now, he looks like a really scary ventriloquist, the way he's on the screen like that. It looks like he's frightening children.
Oh, boy. I don't know if the other two agree, but I think Scotty needs to do the quick-fire questions with the wig on.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to get the wig on now, Scotty, and we'll do the quick-fire questions with the wig on.
Okay. Just to be clear, this is one of my about 20 wigs. So it's not the usual one in rotation.
Hey, Terry, am I technically at work right now?
You're technically at non-paying gig, yes.
All right, well, then here we go. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, I've got coffee. There he is, Bjorn.
There he is.
Good thing I'm not embarrassed at all because I'm so used to this. So
now I recognize you,
my
Scotty.
short one.
All right. Well, we're going to hit the show as we do always with 3 quick-fire questions, and why not start with Bjorn up there, Scotty Pearson. Scotty, last movie you watched without falling asleep?
That's an easy one. It was The Force Awakens last night. And I have to say, I have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I cannot watch a movie and fall asleep because they jump on the couch the entire time. So
Nice. Tom, what was the last movie you watched without falling asleep?
I have never watched a movie without falling asleep, selected by Mrs. Briscoe. Every time she selects a movie or something on Hallmark, I'm out. And it's before the first commercial break.
Really?
Movies I watched, just last night I watched The Departed and Kelly's Heroes.
Oh,
Can't
nice.
sit during those movies.
No, that's true. Jason?
I just watched like 6 hours straight of The Tiger King. You guys see that? Oh, I love it, man. Here's the thing. He spends $600,000 a year on food for the tigers, and he can't fix his husband's teeth. You guys see that? Oh, he had like the 7-10 split. Come on.
Yeah, you think we've got a lot of people showing those love emoticons for that. Few viewers watching. Jan from TAD said, Tom, I want a beer.
That's all I have left.
And Julia said, Scotty was born for this.
Oh.
Yeah. Tom Briscoe.
she owes me $1, by the way, because I trademarked that.
It's true, she does. You won't get it, though. Tom, describe your sex life with a movie title.
Drop Dead Fred.
I got to be sad now, huh, Tom?
Jason, describe your sex life.
The Titanic.
Okay. And Scotty?
Well, I wish it could be either Big or Seven, but it's actually Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
There you go.
Very good. My wife just texted me and said, yours is gone in 60 seconds.
But do you really want to mention Lee Herman and sex in the same sentence? I'm just asking for a friend.
And our last quick fire question go to Jason first. Jason, if you had a time machine and could go back in time, where would you go and what would you do?
I would go back to anyone who's ever heckled me with the best possible comeback, because I always come up with it right when the show's over. I wouldn't go back and kill baby Hitler or win the lottery. I'd go back to that guy.
Nice. Scotty, what about you? Go back in time.
Ultimate fantasy, Back to the Future, Marty McFly being there with Johnny B. Good. I would do the exact same thing, but I would push Marty out of my way, and I would play the Van Halen licks at the dance.
I like that. Tom, where would you go?
I would go back in time and find the guy who invented the time machine and take him out, and then get all the intellectual property under my name. That's what I would do.
Always thinking ahead. Perfect. Well, thanks for being on the show. We've got a great show, like I said. 3 wonderful. Oh, there goes the wig. But we're going to find out a little bit about their careers. All 3 people, for very different reasons, are right at the top of their career. But we'd like to find out a little bit about how they got there. Tom, you're up there just north of New York in your basement bar.
Yes.
And which is ironic because the first time we met, it was a bar.
Yeah.
Then the second time we met was a bar.
Yeah.
And the third time we met was my office, which is stocked like a bar.
It did. I noticed the beer in the fridge there, like a bar. Yes, I did notice that, Terry.
So there's some consistency, but I know very little about your career pre the last 5 years or so. So give us a little synopsis of where you've been, how you've done.
Just how I started in comedy kind of question? Or
Absolutely, yeah.
I was an empty corporate suit, and they sent me on a training class because I was being groomed for big things. And it was the one time I ever actually embraced and like time and territory management, goal setting, and like all that stuff they teach in these classes. So I went back to work on Monday and told my boss I always wanted to be a comic. After he dropped a few grand on sending me to some senior management seminar, getaway thing. So New York back then had a lot more amateur nights and a lot of what they called open mics. And so I started doing open mics, maintaining a day job. But I didn't start comedy till I was 35 with a house and 2 kids. So I had to be very mercenary and pragmatic as I, went forward. And it was tough hanging out with kids that could literally sleep in their friend's couch for months at a time, not pay any rent. And I'm on the same stage doing open mics with guys, and I'm trying to worry about paying my school taxes. So it was a different different path for me than others. And what goal, like I wanted to set up a month worth of gigs, which became maybe I can get 6 straight weeks. It just continuously incrementally grew. And then 2002, I did my first cruise ship. I quit day jobs in 98. So it's been a pretty steady run the last 20 so years.
Good for you. You know, one thing I know, we've seen you live, obviously, and you're absolutely hilarious.
Oh,
one of the challenges for us at TAD when we're representing comedians, one is very, very subjective, and it's hard to get that across unless you're actually in a place laughing at somebody. But the other big challenge is you've got that big body of water between the US and the UK, and it seems like no comedians can cross either way. The cultures are so different, the comedy's so different, and so very few, and we've got a bunch of guys in the UK that we know that can come over here and really hit the mark with Americans, but very few go the other way and succeed. And I know that you have, because we just put you on Cunard, I think it was a Queen Mary.
Yeah.
You absolutely killed it, and that's great.
Oh, I knew I did really well, Terry, when this woman came up to me and told me, "We tolerated your show very much." Then I knew I absolutely nailed it, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, if anyone's never seen Tom on stage, just check out this video of him in action.
This is my job. I got fired from a lot of jobs. That's how I ended up in comedy. I used to drive a beer truck. Well, technically, it was a UPS truck. Turned it into a beer truck. You know what they call a refrigerated truck? Anybody know? No. A reefer. I did not know this. When I grew up, reefer had a whole different meaning. Oh, yeah. So my boss goes, "Briscoe, do me a favor, get me a reefer, and then we'll go to lunch." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna like working here, man." I go, "What kind of reefer you want?" He goes, "Get me a 48-footer. I'm like, "Whoa." I don't even know musicians are gonna do a 48-foot reefer at lunchtime. Maybe Willie Nelson, maybe the guys on the show tonight. I don't know. Not too many musicians. Well, being married over 30 years means I'm an old guy. We raised 2 daughters. Very proud of them. They're completely independent young ladies. I mean, they still live at home, but completely independent young ladies. And I live in a house with 3 women. That's the point, guys. Who wants to be me, huh? 3 grown women. Everything confuses me. Towels confuse. Every day, stack of towels overflows the laundry basket because they will not use a towel a second time. And how many towels you ladies need per shower? 2. You always say 2. Ever count them? More than 2. Waist towel, chest towel, shoulder towel, face towel, towel to stomp on. Then you touch the fancy towels with the initials he's not allowed to touch. Then you make the towel hat. 6 towels times 3 women times 7 showers a day. NASA couldn't figure out how many. By the way, how do you make those towel hats? The reason I ask is I know every man has tried at least once in his life, and every man has failed. Felt a little foolish. Nobody's home. Let me try that towel thing. Right on the. My wife's got a shower. She's got a towel in her head. She can cut the grass, clean the gutters. It never ever moves. And guys, we'll use a towel a second time, right? We'll use a towel till we go, woo! Then we'll use it one more time.
Funny. That's for sure. Brilliant, Tom. Great having you on the show again, and good stuff. Well, I know we've got some cool stuff you're working on at the moment, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. Which brings me over to Jason. Jason, how are you?
Good, Terry. Thanks.
Good to have you. I know quite a bit of your work is on guitar, those parody stuff, and hilarious. I've seen you live, and absolutely, I call you one of the younger, edgier kind of guys, funny, but really, really funny. I don't know how long you've been doing it, but tell us a bit about your career.
Yeah, I mean, I started out, I did everything that I could to make ends meet, like Tom was talking about. But, well, Tom, you started out, you already had a house and everything. And by the way, what are the spice rack? You said it's a bar, but is that a spice rack in the back there, man?
It's my collection of shot glasses. I don't do spices. I do shots.
I thought we were in the corner store there. I love it, man.
I run an apothecary since the corona. No customers, though. Nobody comes in. I don't know.
Just shot. Yeah. So I started out by traveling with Craig Shoemaker. You know who that is? The Love Master. The Love Master. You know him, Tom? And he saw some of the cartoons that I was syndicating to the newspapers. Remember newspapers? And he called me up, and it's something that I always wanted to do, but I never let myself do it. I would go into the hills, and I'd have like a stick, and I'd practice my little shtick, to nobody. And that's how it started, man. I've been going ever since.
Wow. Superb. And you're funny as heck. If you haven't seen Jason, check this out.
I drive everywhere and have no sense of direction. It's just like, I don't even read the signs anymore. I just wait for the voice. Oh, I guess. All right. This guy was giving me the old school directions, and he told me to head northeast. I'm like, oh, see, I don't do northeast. I'm not a Boy Scout. I do left, and I do right. And sometimes I recalculate. And my dad's one of those guys who always wants to know, which way you headed? You taking the 210 to the 38? Like, no. See, my job is to stay on the blue line until I see a checkered flag. That's where you live. All right, he goes, all right, well, which way you headed now? I'm headed up, Dad. I would always listen to the music and sing along, but I'd never get the words right. It just drove my... Do you do it, Lily? Yeah, you do it too. See, it's down the ages, right? Drove my parents crazy. So for me, it would be like, she said, we gotta hold on to what we've got. It doesn't make a difference if we're naked or not. Yeah, it does make a difference. How about this one where the guy breaks up with his girlfriend, Lorraine? I can see clearly now, Lorraine is gone. It's gonna be a bright, no Lorraine day. As a kid, though, you're not thinking about it, you're just doing the sounds. So in my house, this was a hit. Banana woman to me. I see a bathroom on the right.
Absolutely hilarious. And actually, Randy Hausner said, you are freaking hilarious. He's on here. Yes. Yeah,
watch your language, Randy.
Yeah. I also just found out off camera that this guy is 40 years of age. Now, how many of you out there thought he was about 18, 19, something like that? That's crazy. What's the secret, Jason?
A lot of Botox, Terry.
An honest man.
I'm like, Tom, what's your secret, Tom?
Oh, I just say pickled. That's it, man. I'm 80. I'm 87 years old, Terry. I'm 87.
I'm 78, so I'm right there with you, Tom.
But you
with the hair.
Superb. A little later, Jason, definitely want to talk about your show that's up online right now. We'll definitely come back to that. But again, that's awesome to learn. Scotty, how are you?
I'm amazing, considering.
So considering all the shirts you have to choose from, including costumes you wear on stage, you choose to wear a Van Halen t-shirt. Are you like a mega fan?
No, to be honest, I have a pair of Nikes that match this exact color. And I'm not wearing those, but it's usually my travel garb when I'm in airports. It's either this or ABBA shirt that I wear when I stroll through airports.
So Scotty and I met at the restaurant we had called Sky. Scotty was a guitarist in a band, the Chris Parker Project, that used to play there, one of the best bands that played there. And that was a lot of fun. But nobody really knows much about your earlier life other than the fact that you had hair dragging down on the ground. So, Scotty, we would all love to learn a little bit up until his Guy days.
Well, I'm going to give you the edited version, but I will say that at one point I had real hair that touched the top of my buttocks. And I had that for a very long time. I also had the matching Birkenstocks to go with it. And while I had the hair, I did play guitar. And the first solo I ever learned was the guitar solo from Metallica's One. And from there, I got into jazz and got a jazz performance degree at Arizona State University, which actually means I'm horrible at jazz because I got it from Arizona State University. And then I ended up joining a cover band because I realized that the only people that really like jazz are other musicians. And I just wasn't meeting anybody except other musicians. And then I joined a cover band. Ironically, at the same time, I met my wife. So now I just want to jump forward many years and just say that then I met Terry, and then an amazing career has been started because of that, with first just playing at the restaurant, doing tribute shows. Terry created Tad Management, and I've been with Tad Management since the beginning and have done everything that you could imagine with Tad Management, including in almost all the shows. But first and foremost, always loving to be Bjorn in the ABBA Fab show.
I'm looking at some pictures there, which are pretty amazing. So in all seriousness, there are two areas I do want to touch on, because we've heard a lot about your guitar stuff, and we're looking at a picture of you, just looked at a picture of you by the Great Wall of China, which is all the traveling we got to do. It was amazing. But two questions. One, where did you meet Kelly? Give me that moment. Tell me about it, because I've never heard that story.
I love
Kelly is his wife, by the way.
Yes. The things I used to do as a guitarist, I used to not only teach private lessons, but I taught at a couple community colleges because of great friends who encouraged me to do so and got me in the door. But I met Kelly at the place where we both taught, called The Music Store on Baseline and Price in Tempe, Arizona. And she's from Iowa. She's basically the sweetest girl that you could ever meet. And fast forward, she's an amazing mom. She's a best friend, everything. But it all started with her wearing, I tease her about it, and this is completely inappropriate because my boys are watching this, but she wore a shirt that when she leaned over, I could see down her shirt. And I knew she was the one for me.
Oh, boy, you are screwed after this. But secondly, maybe a little more serious. So here at Tad Management, we've created something pretty incredible. And obviously, we're all going through this and the ups and downs of the last 7.5 years with Tad. But I'd love to ask you on the to tell me, if you can, just in 10 or 20 seconds, to describe the family of team members that we have that enable Tad to be what we are.
It's truly a family. I mean, it started off, I always am pushing the fact that at its core are the Davies. It's Terry Davies, it's Ann Davies, and it's Nick Davies. And I'm so lucky to have been there in the beginning, where Nick was a 14-year-old boy that had just started playing in some of our shows on percussion, and then singing, and then playing keys as backgrounds. I mean, it started as a family, and I've always felt as if I was a part of this family. But not only did I become a part of it, but everybody who's been working with us at some point becomes a part of the family. We use this word called nepotism, and it doesn't have to be blood. It can truly be just loving the people that you're around and wanting to work with them and treating them like family, and then just trying to maintain that. And the family has just gotten bigger and bigger, and it just continues to grow. And it, at its core, again, it comes from the Davies, and it's just so encouraging and such an amazing place to be a part of.
Well, we have an incredible team. Jan, Beth, Sam, Cindy, Drew, Brent, Jesse, Nick, Julia, you. If I forget someone now, I'm going to kill Chris, Michael. Who have I forgot? I think I've got Katrina, and I said Anne last. Okay, I'm in the crap for that. Cindy, I think I said Cindy, but if I didn't say Cindy, Cindy's a heartbeat. By the way, I hope you're telling the truth there throughout the whole interview, Scotty, because your wife just came on and said lies, all lies. But that's a little bit about their careers. We're going to move to the section of the show, which is Where in the World is Terry?
Where in the world is Terry?
Where in the world is Terry?
All right, where in the world am I? I'm going to switch it up today. I'm going to put myself in a movie. Now, it could be a very simple quick question, but that really depends. We ask the viewers to also type in their answers, even though you delayed it by a few seconds. We are going to start with Scotty because Scotty seems to pride himself on the fact that he gets all of these. So I've made it a little bit more difficult for him. Scotty, which movie am I in?
Oh, Glory.
No.
I pass. Jason, it's your turn.
Oh, this is a game show?
Yeah, no, this is all on you now, man. This is pressure. Do it now.
Brave, Heart. No.
No, look at the actor. Look at the actor there. Tom, any ideas?
Glory.
No.
He already said Glory. Tom
Washington, Matthew Broderick, right? It's the World War II. I can't see. I'm 87 years old, Terry. I can't see the screen.
Any viewers' idea? Well, that's Kevin Costner.
Oh, Werewolves of
Waterworld.
What was that, Tom?
Not that. I know the movie. It's
White Sox.
Waterworld.
That's a movie I fell asleep watching, to be honest.
Oh my God.
Field of Dreams.
It's Waterworld, Scotty.
Christian Phillips got it. It's Dances with Wolves.
I said that. I said White Sox.
That was...
Okay, you guys suck. We're gonna move on to who should we go to? Let's go to Tom. Tom, which movie am I in?
Oh, that's a Davies home movie. That's the child you don't talk about.
Redheaded stepchild.
I have no idea.
No idea, Tom?
Tom fell asleep on that movie.
He did. Jason or Scotty?
That's Chucky. Is that called Child's Play?
It is. It's Child's Play. And Christian Phillips got that as well before anyone else. Someone said Tatonka. All right, Jason.
I'm getting this one, Terry.
No pressure, okay?
He's in California. This is the movie capital of the world. You better get this. No pressure.
I gotta tell you,
That gives me special expertise, let me tell you.
this is the easiest one we've ever had.
He's right behind you, Terry.
I know, that's deliberate.
Oh, it's deliberate. This is Apollo 13.
Correct, Apollo
All right.
13. You did okay on that.
Nice quick takeover. Did it freeze for everybody or just
No, I think just
So
Frozen.
this is a trick question. It's Frozen.
Frozen 2?
Frozen 2.
He stepped outside of the lunar module and he froze in space. That's what happened.
Houston, we have a problem. Terry, come in.
Hey, Terry, that Botox really works. Let me tell you.
So we should just start roasting Terry now? This is so unfair.
It became the Terry's roast all of a sudden.
Oh, it's funny. So I guess, Scotty, you're next in command. So what game is next?
Terry on the phone. Yes, Terry.
You ever see that TV
Yes.
show, the IT
Yes.
crowd? I think. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
So this is funny because it took the three of us to finally crash Terry's computer, but we did it. It crashed. So now
You're
I'm
welcome,
sending.
Tap family. You are welcome.
This is like when the president dies and the vice president has to step in.
Yeah. Big question.
All right, Scotty.
Football, like the nuclear codes. Who has the football? Scotty has the football.
I know, but I'm trying to multitask as well.
Yeah, me
And
too. I'm
sending
trying
him
to smoke
the
and drink at
Zoom
the same time.
This is more like Star Trek, though, because it's Scotty. I can't shake him, Captain.
You know what we're actually going to do? This is a perfect opportunity. Ross,
Oh,
you know,
there's Terry popped up.
is Terry there?
Oh, the Terry statue. I see.
Hey, Terry, would you mind if we ran my video right now? I mean, it's not like you to forget me, but we can run my video and we can work on the screen real quick.
This is weird because it's all gone, but yes, let's go to Scotty's video.
Watch that scene, taking the dancing.
Well, the things we'll do to get some fresh air in this quarantine. I don't know. We'll crash a computer and go outside. But thanks. If you did stick around, thanks for sticking around. That was some video of Scotty Pearson, which I'm yet to see, but I can't wait to tune in and see the rerun of this. So, yeah, there's a little bit of tech issues, but we managed to stay on. So we're going to move to our next section, which is the question we ask on all the shows. And this is for all three of you. If you could spend the next 60 minutes with two people, any two people that are alive in any one place in the world, where would you like to go in the next 60 minutes, and who would you like to spend it with? And we're going to go with Jason.
You're going with me.
Yes.
Well, my wife had better be on that list. So my wife, and maybe Tom, you might be the only one who knows who this is, but Mitch Hedberg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Mitch Hedberg is just, I don't know, whenever I'm feeling down, and treat yourself, Terry. If you don't know who it is, throw on some Mitch Hedberg. He is, he OD'd finally, but he just had these thoughts like, he goes, somebody asked me if I wanted a frozen banana. And I say, no, but I want a regular banana later. So yes, just random shit. I want to spend an hour with that dude.
Cool. Where do you want to be?
Well, because my wife will be there, it has to be Maui. That's all she talks about all day, every day. We were actually going until this Corona happened. So now it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before we go anywhere, right? Flying?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, let's hope it's sooner rather than later.
Yeah, from your lips.
Hey, Scotty, you got 60 minutes to spend with two people anywhere in the world. Where do you want to be? Who do you want to be with?
Well, I was lucky enough to have been vetted with this question previously. Hopefully I won't cry like a baby like I did last time. But for me, it's my grandfather. And I'm going to change my second answer. Before it was my son Turner, who is named after my grandfather. But I would actually, trying to get some points back, I would have my wife be there as well, my wife and my grandfather. And we would be in Lake Powell on a houseboat. And that's where I spent my childhood summers, on a houseboat with my grandpa. And Kelly has never been there. So that's what I would like to do.
And that's the perfect way to kiss ass after making that earlier mistake. So good for you.
So long as she wears the blouse.
Yes, there you go. With the blouse. Hey, Tom.
And he keeps dropping stuff for her to pick up, like quarters and nickels on the ground.
Tom, what about you? Two people, one place. Who would it be?
Okay. Well, first of all, Terry, I would go back about 12 minutes and find the person responsible for these technical difficulties and punch him right in the head, Terry, just for you. I would do that.
Thank you.
I would spend, I don't know if I fully understand the question, but in a tree fort that I'm about to build, and me and my grandson Matthew.
Perfect.
The joy I get from spending time with him is indescribable.
Yeah, absolutely superb. That's great. This has been an amazing show, apart from the technical difficulties, but it has brought me out here and reminded me that I need to spend a little more time about here. Obviously, we're all hopeful that we get through this coronavirus situation and get back to whatever normal is going to be. But Scotty, let's go with you. How do you see your next 10 years and what you've got planned with your career or your life?
Well, my life for the last 10 has been TAD management, and I imagine it's the same. I'm looking for a time in the future where Terry and Ann actually get to retire, and the youngins, being Nick Davies and his fiancée Julia, and our amazing team, are there to keep things going and moving forward for another 10 years. I mean this in the best way possible, but I'm looking forward to true world domination.
Absolutely. Jason, what about you?
I just love that you coordinate your Van Halen shirt with your shoes, Scotty.
What do you got going on, Jason?
Yeah, man. I love to do stand-up, and I don't really care where I do it. So in 10 years, it doesn't matter whether I'm in a church or a comedy club. I love the cruise ships. And my wife loves to travel. She's a photographer. And so she'll like cherry pick the gigs we go on. So I like to, just find more opportunities for her to come with and do her thing. But I'm happy, man. I just hope to keep the boat afloat.
Good for you. And tell us a little bit about your online show. I know you've got a funny show going on at the moment.
Yeah, every other night during quarantine, I have a show. We're calling it Inside Comedy, where I talk to another comedian, just kind of like what you're doing, Terry. And I appreciate you doing this to cheer people up and stay positive. And for the rest of you, Tad is a real class act, and it does start with Terry and Jan and everyone there, and Scotty. But I try to keep it on that level where we're just being positive and being there for each other. And it's every other night at 5.
Awesome. Where can we see that, Jason?
Oh, my Facebook page is Jason Love Comedy.
Okay, we're going to put a link on that so you guys can go and check it out.
No,
Tom,
thank you.
Tom, what are you working on? I know you're always working on new stuff, and it's always hilarious.
Yeah, I just I'm a lab rat for a guy who's doing 360 virtual reality, like immersion video. He has a simulated comedy club, and I played to like 50 people, and they all wore masks, and it was completely interactive. It was like a 360 experience for them. It was really cool. Yeah.
Where's that?
He's a friend of mine from New York who is trying to bring this to the entertainment business. Basically, in theory, you could never. Let's say you're Bon Jovi, you don't feel like leaving your house, where you could have sell 1 million tickets with people with these masks on, and you're in a virtual space.
That is
really
so cool.
Yeah, so I did one, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be your lab rat, and then when they get all the technical stuff worked out, they're going to go, we should get a real comedian. That's what's going to happen. So.
That's super.
It was amazing. It's amazing to see this stuff in its not infancy, but all the pieces are coming together for this guy. He's putting these things together. These masks going down in price, complete 360 immersion. You can actually look to your left and see the people next to you, and look to the right. It's pretty cool. So I'm doing that, which keeps me. I barely know how to turn on my iPad, so I can't get into the technical stuff. But it was pretty cool.
I would love one of those that made me feel like I was.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting experience for me as a performer, because there was definitely a gap in between the punchline and the laugh. Yeah. So then I was stepping on my own laughs when they came back at me.
Yeah, that is.
But one of the things about comedy is we're not athletes. I mean, Jason looks like he, quarterback, the whole Heisman Trophy. He looks like the Heisman Trophy guy. But anyway. The thing about doing comedy is we don't age out. You know what I mean? It's not like you blow a knee or you just get too old to play anymore. I could do this till 10 years from now I'll be 97. So obviously I'll be celebrating my 97th birthday on a cruise ship doing comedy.
Absolutely. Superb stuff. Great to have you all on the show. It's been a great show today. My immediate future, I think, is going to be mowing that behind me and then walking in that and then swimming in that. That's what I'm going to do, apart from fixing my computer. That's the next few hours for me. But thanks so much for being on the show. Scotty Pearson, Jason Love, Tom Briscoe. What a fun show this has been today, aside from the tech mishap. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with 3 other guests. We'll see you at 11 o'clock Pacific time. And take care of yourself, everybody. Thank you.
Hey,